It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. Tech for Senior Live. This is December the 8th. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. Today on our 1-hour show, we have a great group, a great panel. We're going to talk about all sorts of things over the next hour, including should you upgrade your smartphone? And we're going to talk about all the things that have happened in the news this past week. So sit back and relax, and we're going to have a great show. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for coming. If you're watching it on Facebook, thank you again. If you're watching this as a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. So let's get on with it. Welcome, everyone. This is Tech for Senior Live, as I said. Who are we? Well, we're actually not in the studio. You may be sitting looking at the four of us thinking that we're sitting around here having a chat, but we actually are in different countries and all across Canada and the United States. So I'll introduce everybody in a moment, but we're doing this through the magic of StreamYard. Now, this broadcasts out to Facebook and YouTube. But we're really actually from our Monday show, which is our big show on Monday. And the four of us are on the Monday show, and that's a Zoom meeting. So if you are over on our Zoom, and I see a few of you have logged in on our Zoom feed, sorry, we'll see you Monday. So many of you probably are wondering, how do you find the show? And what I'm going to do is we'll just get this. You can find at our website, www.techforsenior.com. Just go there and you'll see a big red button. You click on that button and it will take you to the appropriate place. And also, while you're there, we do have a newsletter that comes out twice a week, and you can subscribe to that as well. If you are just logging in, we're all sitting here talking, and we're good friends and we don't mind talking for the next hour, but we're wondering, is anybody listening to us? So if you're out there and you're listening, if you could put in the chat where you're from, maybe what the weather is. The topic today we're going to talk about is your smartphone ready for an upgrade? We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk some of the issues I had this week in upgrading my wife's cell phone. So we'll talk about that shortly. So put that in there. in the chat, and we'll get you up on the screen and figure out if anybody is listening. All right, let me introduce our esteemed group of experts that we have assembled this week. Let me start first with my co-host on our Monday show, Huey Poplar. Huey is a man of many skills, and he last night gave a big talk on TVs and how to get different television services on your TV. That went pretty good for you, Huey?
Yes, we had a nice crowd, and I guess I overwhelmed them with information because there weren't a lot of questions, but there were a few at the end. But yeah, it went well, and I got some nice comments via email afterwards. So yeah, it was good. And then also, Richard Vogel sent me an email during Monday's show. He looked up on how far away we actually are, and I couldn't find that email this morning, so I just looked it up, and we're about 3,500 miles apart.
Really?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Amazing technology, right? Amazingness. Yeah. All right. And all right, the next person I want to introduce is a man who we know very well. He's been with us right since day one on our show on Monday. He's a security expert, but he's giving it all up to take up sailing. He's going to put on his sailor's hat and shorts. He's getting on a cruise ship, saying to heck with life, and he's going to cruise to Hawaii and back. Bob, are you really giving it all up? You're muted.
You're muted.
And I decided I'm not going to go on the cruise ship. I'm going to swim to Hawaii. Hopefully my wife can keep up. No, we're going to have a 2-week cruise to Hawaii. You know, at our age, enjoy life while you still can, because who knows, that might be the last cruise. I hope not, but
yeah,
we will be enjoying it.
So this week, my internet went out for about 6 hours. It was a Western Canada outage, and I realized everything in life I enjoy is on the internet. So I guess you have a internet package on the ship, or how are you going to manage?
Yep, I do. I do, and I am going to attempt to do something while we're aboard the cruise ship. Maybe I'll even broadcast some of the live cruise at sea.
That'd be cool.
I don't know whether it's going to be Monday, Thursday. Probably on a Monday show would be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Right from the balcony of the cruise ship. Yep.
That'd be really cool. We should do that. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Excellent.
Well, we did that when we went on the APCUG cruise that one year. We did some TV right from, or some internet right from the bow of the ship when we were taking off, and during the cruise.
If it worked all the way back then, it ought to be a heck of a lot better now.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was over 10 years ago.
And of course, the music director of our Monday show, Ray Baxter. Ray is a good friend of ours, a man again of many talents. He's the president of APCUG and treasurer. He's a music historian, but he's not just all that. He's much more, and a great guy from Pine, Arizona, and no snow. So how the heck can you be in the mountains and not have any snow?
Lucky, I guess. So the last cruise I took after was to with my wife was to Alaska. A week long, was really nice. And on board, and this is apparently pretty common with cruise ships today, they give computer lessons.
Yes.
And they must have had, I'd say 40 people in the room. And this was when I was still teaching computer classes at the college, and I attended, and I just wanted to be an observer and listen. But I got to say, in my mind, I was saying, boy, if I was younger, I could do what this guy is doing. And imagine cruising around the world and just for a couple of hours every day, being able to give lessons that I was doing anyway.
The one that we were on, the cruise at Holland America, had a contract, and Microsoft provided all the equipment, and it was the people were paid by Microsoft to be there and to do and they did 3 1-hour sessions a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do that. It was the level of knowledge on those computers was pretty low. Anyway.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's why I felt I could do it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's good. That's great. Now what we should do is there anyone listening to us out there, Huey?
Wow, you should see. Let's take a look and see.
Let's see. Richard Clarkson, 45 degrees now, and we'll go to 65 later on. Well, we had rain last night and all the snow's gone, so that's good. Richard says from Monrovia, California, not Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Monrovia, right. Mike Ungerman, nice sunny day in Orlando, so I can charge my plug-in hybrid and drive for free. Mike, did you see the article today? We'll talk about it. Apple now is fully committed to making an EV car. Did everyone see that article that came out?
Yes.
Yes, I want to talk to Mike about that. They're committed to it, so good one, Mike. Olive Cousin, hi, we have rain. Ron can't say where we are, so I will not tell him. Ha ha. Rain, rain, rain. Yes, indeed. Richard Clarkson. Oh, thank you. Coffee for. Oh, well, thank you so much, Richard.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for buying. Yes, excellent. Thanks so much. We really do appreciate that, and our
coffee's good too.
A strong supporter over the years, and come to all our shows. So we do appreciate that, and thanks so much. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 39 degrees and rain. Yes, you're getting the rain, but it's washing all that dirt and sand and all that stuff that's associated with snow away. So hopefully that'll make it nice and clean again. Olive Cousin Huey, our Roku updated today, and the voice input from our cell phones have a new look, and it seems to work well.
Good.
There you go. Irving, greetings from Ottawa, Canada. Look forward to today's main subject. Kirkland, Washington, 39 degrees and rain. Bob, I went on that Hawaii cruise. You'll enjoy it. Vale Williams. Oh, Vale. Hi, Vale. Yeah, Vale is, of course, Vale and I go back many years. We were in the computer club at Mesa, Arizona, and Silveridge, and we did all the computer tech stuff there. So
I've been in Hawaii, in Oahu, once about 6-7 years ago. Did a presentation for Avast to a club in Hawaii, but my wife has never been there. She's always wanted to go, so that's why we're celebrating this one. It's also coming up to our 63rd wedding anniversary.
Excellent. Well, we hope you have a good trip. Olive says, we just learned Oregon, Washington had power grid attacks. Wonder if they will if it will affect the internet indirectly. Maybe that caused Ron's internet outage. Yeah, I don't know what caused it. The nice thing about the internet is it's not a regional thing, so it should, if it does go down, it should be able to come in from different ways. I don't know what caused our outage. It was with one of the internet providers for Western Canada. So anyway. Bernardo, just Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan. Hello, Bernardo. Bernard. Mm-hmm. JJ says cloudy, 37 degrees in Waukegan, and enjoy Huey's presentation last night. There you go. You've got Ed and Meyer there, Huey.
Yeah.
Clark Walker, very cloudy, 51 degrees in Trenton, New Jersey. Sally Ann from Kirkland, Washington. Hi, all. Welcome, Sally. All right. Okay. So moving on, I wanted to show everybody a little video I have here that I made last night. Let me just get here. I wanted to show everybody this. I'll play it a couple of times. I'm going to play it once, and then you can watch it. Then I'll tell you how I made it, and then we'll play it again. All right. So what is that? Well, that of course is an airplane landing. What is that? Is my house, and that of course is the marina in front of my house. So I have the airplane landing on the mud flat there, and right in front of my house, which I saw. I did that last night, and you're wondering how the heck did I do that? Well, this week there's been a lot of articles about I don't know if it's a new website, but it's called Unscreen, Unscreen, unscreen.com. And this is a service that takes the background out of your videos, and it doesn't do JPEGs, it does videos and GIFs. It's free. So I went on Unscreen last night, and I had the plane landing as as a video, right? I had that as a separate video, and so all as I did is I took the background out of that, and then overlaid my my house on there with some sound, and that's how I did it. So let me just play it again. You'll see this. So this is a picture of an airplane landing in front of my house. So I thought if you are interested and you do any video work, I was talking to Ray earlier. If you and you're standing there and
You're breaking up,
screen
Ron.
or any background, if you don't have a green screen, then you can use this to record yourself and keep it as a JPEG, and then you can just upload that JPEG. It'll take the background out, and you can overlay it on whatever you want. It actually works very well, and it's called Unscreen, unscreen.com, and it's free.
So you said JPEG, it'd have to be an MP4.
It's MP4 or a GIF.
GIF.
Or a GIF. And it's not, and it doesn't even if it's a long video, it'll do it as well. So there doesn't seem to be any time constraints on how long. So it's pretty cool. I thought that was fun. And there were a bunch of, you'll see there's an article today. All right, moving on. The next thing I'll talk about is this. Now let me find it here.
While you're doing that, I want to bring this up.
What is the TFS court?
Was that the TFS corporate
Yes,
plane?
it was at the Texas Senior Corporate Plane. It was landing to pick me up to work.
Yeah, we bought that instead of coffee with the donation we received.
Yeah.
Right. So here is the problem this week. This is my wife's phone. You can see, of course, the swollen battery. There you can see is there's obviously swollen battery. Now, the good part about this is my wife helped me make the video I made about, was it a year ago? Was it a year ago I made the video about swollen batteries, and she helped me with that. So she recognized this as a very serious problem. When you get a swollen battery, you can see the screen is actually separating from the main unit here, because the battery is expanding. And this was about a 7-year-old Honor 6 Huawei phone I had. I mean, she makes 3 phone calls a year, right? She likes the phone. It worked fine. So what the heck, right? It was but the important thing is to recognize that this is a very serious problem, because that can explode, and you should dispose of it correctly, take it to a recycling place, and certainly not charge it, right? And the problem with this here's the problem, is that people have their phones in protective boxes or covers around the phone, and you often can't see this. So you should take your phone out once a month and have a look at it and make sure that it's not swelling. Anyway, so boom, she said, what do I do? And so that embarked on this article, which came out this was an article that came out this week, and it said, "Is it time to upgrade your smartphone?" So I thought, hey, good topic, and I had to go through all this myself. So I thought I'd get your opinion, see what you guys think about this. So there's 6 things when you should consider about upgrading your smartphone. And the first one is, of course, battery life may cause problems. Batteries degrade over time. And of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but of course, the issue is batteries, right? Now, the thing that I was immediately faced with was whether I should replace this battery. I mean, the phone worked fine. My wife liked it. Why replace it? But the battery, should I replace the battery or get a new phone? And that was the first thing that came up in my mind. Huey, what would you do? What should I do? Should I have replaced the battery or should I get a new phone? I don't quite know what to do. What do you think?
Well, a lot depends, of course, on the phone and how old it is and what
7 years old.
and how well it
7 years
works.
old.
Yeah.
Android,
you know,
it's on Android 7.
When I had the same issue with the phone, I took it to one of the local repair shops here that works on phones. It was $75. They put a new battery in it. And how I discovered it, because mine was in a case as well, and I didn't realize it had swollen, but it kept cutting out on me.
Right. That's actually what happened to Gail. It cut out on her. It's exactly what happened to Gail. That's exactly it. Yeah.
But yeah, I have replaced batteries in a few phones over the years. But if you take in consideration, they try to get us to upgrade our phones once a year when they come out with the new models, and that's overkill. The phones have gotten better, so in a year, it's really not time to turn them in and get a new one. 2 years is pushing it according to them, but you should be able to get 3 or 4 years out of a phone. And you think of it, if it's a $800 phone, and you had 4 years, it's only $200 a year. But if you get them every year, it's $1,000 a year. So.
All right. So Bob, 7-year-old phone, Android 7, swollen battery. What should I do? New battery or new phone?
7-year-old phone, you're not getting updates anymore on the operating system. You're putting in a new battery isn't going to keep your operating system updated. And if you don't get updates to the operating system, there's security issues to watch out for.
Good point.
So
Good point.
in that case, definitely I'd have suggested getting a new phone.
Okay.
Now I have a Pixel 5 and I have a Pixel 6.
Right.
Both of those are still fully supported, and the Pixel 5 and 6 still have quite a few years in them. There were also not cheap phones. So if one of those phones had a problem with a battery, I'd replace the battery, not the phone.
Right. Okay.
So
Ray, any comments? Any comments? Battery phone, what do you got? Any thoughts?
Yes, definitely a 7-year-old phone. Time to replace it.
Okay.
Gone are the days when we could open up the back cover of a phone and replace the battery ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we were still living in that time frame, I would say maybe replace the battery, see how it goes. But if you have to spend $75 or more to have a technician replace the battery, I would much rather put that money towards a new phone. And I did that recently. As you all know, I did a little excerpt on this. I got the Samsung Flip, a year-old model, the Flip 3, but it was brand new in the box for a really good price. And I chose that one not only for the Flip, but it's a 5G phone, and that's going to be the standard. It's becoming the standard now. And my old phone, believe it or not, even though it was only 2.5 years old, the Motorola Power G did not have an NFC chip, near field communications, and I really wanted to try using that with the wallets. So this new phone had all of that. Great price. Didn't take me long to justify it in my mind. We all like to do that, and I went and got it. So yeah,
Okay.
you did the right thing, Ron.
All right. Well, so here's the deal, though. So it was interesting. I went through all those things you guys have talked about, all those issues, right? And of course, so the first thing I did is I phoned our local repair, the person that does all the phones in our area, and they don't have batteries for that phone, right? So replacing a battery wasn't an option, right? Boom. But I did look at that, right? And it was going to be about $75. All you what you said is correct. One of the things that the takeaway message here, I think we all say, look, this is time to move on, right? But here's what the thing that I want everyone to understand. What Huey and Bob, not so much Ray, but Huey, Bob, and I have very expensive cell phones, right? We paid $1,000 for them, and they're expensive phones. One of the things that you have to understand is that, like for example, when I was looking at Costco for phones this week, they had Motorola makes great phones, absolutely super superb phones, and they had for $159. They had a Motorola on sale at Costco, not in the kiosks. Those kiosks in Costco all have the contract phones. These are just the phones at the front, in the electronics area. $159 was a Motorola phone that was off $50 off, and that's Canadian. These are Canadian prices. It was 5G, 3 cameras. It looked like a great phone. Okay, really, really good phone. So you don't have to pay $1,000 for a phone. You can get a great phone. I didn't actually buy that phone. I bought a Samsung phone, which was I forget the number, but it was $175. It just came out, and I got it from our Shaw, our internet provider, because when I was in talking to the manager, he said, Ron, because I have a high speed, this big package for my internet, I get not a free phone, but if I buy the phone, I get unlimited talk and text free. It's a free plan. There's no cost, $0, 0 cents. So the other thing you want to look at, not only do these phones not cost a lot of money, but you also want to look at your internet service provider. Look at the plans, look at what's available. In this case, it just worked out that I buy a phone, they give me a free plan. So there's no hook or anything in there. It's $0 and 0 cents. So it was a good deal for me. So I
was looking for a hotspot. I was going to buy a hotspot, and they wanted a lot of money for the hotspot. It was $200-300 plus it was going to be $75 a month for the hotspot. So I said, well, no, that's not what I wanted. That's too expensive. Maybe just get a cheap phone and use it as a hotspot. He says, well, if I got a deal for you, he had an iPhone 8, and this was back a couple of years ago now, over 2 years. And he said, all you have to do is put it on your plan and pay it off in 2 years. But each month we charge you $15 and then give you $15 credit for the 2 years, and that'll pay for the phone. I said, well, that sounds good. So it was going to be $20 a month for me to add it to my service, but I got the phone free, and I still, even though I switched companies, I still have that phone. I don't use it except with Wi-Fi. I don't have a phone plan for it anymore, but I have an iPhone that I can play with and look up things and try things with that I got for nothing.
Let's move on. Is your phone damaged? Think about dumping it. Again, if you have a cracked screen, the back of it's cracked, if there's physical damage to the phone, you can look at getting it repaired. But again, depending on the cost of a new phone, you may consider, you should probably look at getting it either repaired. But some of these repairs can, particularly this is an iPhone, and you can see that this is quite a bit of damage here, and I expect that would probably be pretty expensive to repair. Any comment on repairing phones? You guys got any ideas on that? Does that make sense?
I've been lucky. I never cracked the screen or cracked the case, but I have a lot of friends that use phones that have cracked screens because of the fact that it is expensive to replace it.
Okay. What about the idea that modern stuff just got a lot better? Should we replace our phones just because should we replace our phones each year because they're better? Do you think there's any advantage in just replacing? Huey, what do you think?
I I can't justify that expense every year.
Right. Bob,
And
You
I
have
want it
you
to
have
last as
people you have people that get a new car every 3 years. You have people that get a new phone every 1 or 2 years. That's just the nature of some people.
right.
I personally, as long as it's still fully updatable so that I don't have security issues and there's nothing wrong with the phone, I don't see a reason for having to go out and spend the enormous amount of money just as a status symbol to be able to say, hey, I got the latest and greatest.
Right.
We bought the Pixel 6. You and I both own the Pixel 6.
Right.
How long was it the latest and greatest? Not very long.
But still
Okay.
takes great pictures, right?
Oh, excellent pictures.
Excellent picture. Ray, any
Yes, there's
comments?
something newer out there, but that doesn't mean I'm going to jump on it.
Right. Ray, any comments on that?
Yeah, I always look for value. As an example, you mentioned before of me not having an expensive phone. The Flip Phone 3 is $1,000 phone.
Right.
I got it for $300.
Good deal.
Actually,
Yeah.
I got it for $90 because the 3100 was a rebate on my Fitbit watch that I sent back. Even though I only paid $90 for it, Fitbit gave me $300. I used that to buy $1,000 phone. So it's not so much it's the value you get is what I look for, not
Right.
the expense.
Good point. Yep. Good point.
I just put up from JJ. He said, I use my old phone as an extra webcam for a
Right.
computer club meeting.
Yep.
Just put it on a tripod. Well, most tripods have that little screw, and your phones don't. So I spent
Adapter.
$13 and got this, and it turns as well, so I can have it either direction. It has the little screw thing on the bottom that goes on the tripod, and I can make it bigger or smaller and then make it tight so it's a good fit. And I also have one of those for an iPad.
Then there's the other thing is you're on an old standard. I guess the question with 5G coming along is, should everybody be racing out to get a 5G phone because it's a new standard? What do you think? What do you think about that, Huey?
I did get one and made sure that I got one that had 5G, but they're just starting to get some 5G available where I am. So when I first got it, I didn't have any 5G in my area.
So my feeling on this is that one of the things that has really been a big boom to 5G is the 4G network, and it's really the speed of the 4G network in most networks now is really fast, and a lot of them are the 5G. I mean, there's various types of 5G, and a lot of them are using the 4G network. So one of the benefits of 4G is 5G is being that the 4G networks are really fast now. Most of the 5G plans that you see are not they're not that much more expensive because they know that people really aren't going to pay a lot for that because the 4G is so fast. So I think if you have a 4G phone, it should you're going to get you're cooking with gas for a while here. I don't see any big reason to race out just to buy a 5G phone. Bob, any comments on that?
Thing to keep in mind, if you don't have 5G service, but your
Right.
phone automatically has
point.
5G turned on,
Right.
you're wasting battery. Your
Yes.
phone could be lasting twice as long by
point.
simply turning off 5G. Because
Right.
if it's turned on, it's constantly searching. And if it's not available, it's using battery.
That's right. Ray, comments?
Again, it comes down to value. I think if you're going to buy a new phone because you need to, 5G should be one of the components. To buy a 5G just for 5G, no.
No. Okay. I'm gonna just because I want to move on quickly now. This is the last one.
There's two.
We'll get to the
comments.
question, but just hold on, Huey. We'll just get to the
Okay.
questions that say. I just got one more slide to go. I want to just ask Bob about this. I'm just going to leave this so that we can move on quickly now. But is your OS is your OS is too old? So the question is that, Bob, what do you think? Is there a time when you have to say, look, this OS 7, Android 7 is just too old, no updates. Is there time when we just have to move on from the updates?
Yeah, if there are security issues and they're being exploited, and you have an old phone where you cannot get an update, and those issues are there and they're being exploited, then the only way to stay safe is to update
Right.
the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Good point. Good
You
point.
can't update the operating system anymore. You have no choice. You have to upgrade the phone.
Right. All right, Huey, let's look at any comments before we
Yeah,
move on.
just two quick ones.
Samsung offers various discounts. For example, a Z Fold 4 is almost $2,000.
Yep.
With discounts, you can get it for $450. Now that's a deal, Ray. There you go.
Yes. Better than
that's
I got.
a deal. Yeah. JJ says, yes, my tripod came with that attachment. Yeah, great.
Yeah, the one I showed. Yep.
Are we all caught up?
I'll call it.
Okay, let's move on. We got to get working here today. Let me get over to our. Oh, just before we do that, I just wanted to. If you want to follow us, this is our Facebook page. I'll leave it up for a minute here while I'm just organizing this. Share a screen. And we'll get this off now. Let's see if we can get rid of this. And then we should be able to get this a bit bigger. See how we're going to do. Let's have a look here. Well, look, guess who got the first article today?
Let's
How
go.
did he sneak that one in?
I have no idea. It's because I finished that video like 5 minutes before we started the show. I was actually still in the middle of uploading it when we started talking before the show started. So
we should have a rule that you can't upload, can't upload videos an hour before the show or something, or in the show. You can't even do it in the show, right?
Ron, would you follow that rule?
No.
Yeah. Right. Ron, you're the one that's usually the one that would apply to.
in any case, this is the holiday season. Many people do shopping. And here are 9 tips to make sure you don't wind up on the wrong side of a fraud.
All right. Huey, which product should you buy? Do you want to? You can read it, I guess.
Yeah, which products should you buy if you want a Matter smart home? And this article, I actually saved it into my Evernote because it's a good explanation of what Matter is and all the things about it. And then it talks about how it will work with the various equipment and which things it will be compatible with in the beginning and which things will come later on. So it's a really good article if you're considering a Matter smart home. So it's going to be a standard that several of the companies are going to adhere to for these home IoT Internet of Things devices.
You'll find a video that I did some time ago called "Does Matter Really Matter?" And yes, it does.
Yeah.
And Huey, eSIMs. What are eSIMs?
Well, the eSIMs are electronic SIMs instead of the little chips. And you can have, in some phones, you can have actually 2 SIMs now. You can have a regular SIM card and then an eSIM. And this article just talks about what the advantages are and what one does and what the other one does. So it's a good article to read.
Yeah, the new Apple phones only have eSIMs, eh?
Yes.
Interesting. Ray, Phoenix continues. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this was an interesting article.
So let's just past Tuesday, President Biden came to Phoenix and he announced that the Taiwanese chip maker, this is TSMC, which stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. If you haven't heard of them before, they're the largest chip maker in the world. And they were originally going to invest about $12 billion in building a new facility in Arizona. Now they're going to invest $40 billion. So they've tripled it. And they make chips for Apple, NVIDIA, and AMD. And the plant is going to be operational in 2024. Talk about, less than 2 years from now. And it's going to be slated to manufacture the most advanced chips. And it's no secret that for me, China's claims on Taiwan, a geopolitical decision, is probably driving one of the driving forces to have more trips made and brought back to America as opposed to places in Asia. I'm personally concerned about the use of what this will do to the use of water. Water is a major need in manufacturing chips. Now, the companies like TSMC have said they have reclamation projects that will take the water they use and put it back into the ground. So time will tell if this will help. But let's face it, water is a precious liquid in the desert.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And then 5G ultra wide.
So we just talked about me picking up a 5G phone. Verizon has announced that in the first quarter of 2023, that's next month, 5G wideband service is going to be available nationwide. Now, there's different bands in 5G. Some companies have focused on the band that just focuses on high density areas but doesn't go too far. This part of the ultra wideband, or the C band as they call it, does go a lot further. And what they're saying is this will be available nationwide. Now, will it be available in the mountains where I live? Well, time will tell, but I'm looking forward to it. I've been a Verizon user since I first got a cell phone, so I'm anxious to see how this pans out.
Move to Meadow Lake. They just put up a brand new cell tower.
Yeah.
From Verizon.
Yeah, it'll probably have this. Hey, Bob, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. Well, it has. If you lived in Meadow Lake and you were a Verizon customer, you're now tippy top on the 5G. You don't need ultra wide.
There you go.
Close is good.
There you go. All good. That's great. And hydrogen?
Well, what about a hydrogen-powered vehicle? And this has been talked about for years and years. They have these hydrogen canisters you can see in that diagram, and that provides the energy for the car to move. They can be refueled as quickly as a gas-driven car. So the big knock against EVs, how long it takes to recharge, you will not have that with a hydrogen vehicle. Now, there's nothing on the horizon that says these are going to be mass-produced. But here's my prediction. I think the trucking industry will take advantage more of hydrogen vehicles. Why? They don't have to have these huge batteries taking up precious cargo space, and they won't be that heavy, and they'll be able to, as it says, charge faster, refill faster. So watch out. Hydrogen is going to be on the scene too, as a way of how instead of having poor emissions come out of your tailpipe, you'll have vapor and water.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Good information. Now, this was a sad article that I noticed this morning, and Amazon down for hundreds of Canadians. What? I mean, this is my daily delivery service. Amazon certainly was had some big problems this past week in Canada. But the reason I put this up was I know that Amazon's going through this massive change now, and they've certainly cut a lot of jobs. Our delivery service I was just wondering if you could put in the comments if people are noticing this, but the delivery service that we're getting now is terrible. We're getting, 2 or 3 of my parcels in the last couple of weeks have not shown up. They have promised a delivery on a Monday, and it doesn't come till 2 Mondays later. We're noticing a big change in delivery service. I wonder if this is just in Canada, or if we're seeing this, if you guys are seeing it, or if it's, maybe put in the chat.
And it's not only Amazon. It's happening with all the delivery services. UPS, my notice said delivery by 2:15. And then I get a revision anytime up until 9 p.m. Big difference.
Right. I had one parcel that was out for delivery That was 10 days ago. It was out for delivery 10 days ago. It was just coffee. It was some coffee I bought. It finally arrived last night. And I thought, well, it was out for delivery for 10 days. That's crazy. Anyway, all right. Hey, this was announced today, or this came out. This was interesting. This was from Bloomberg, and this is an article from Bloomberg. So it is, I think, a reputable article. Amazon is now committed to the Apple Car. Now, I wonder what Mike Underwood's going to think about this. This is a Apple Car not reportedly coming. This is you read the article. Apple is definitely doing this. 2026, and of course, it will be under $100,000 without level 5 charging. Self-driving. Sorry. Anyway, just now we know, with all those billions and trillions of dollars that Apple has, that why didn't they just buy General Motors? Like, or just buy, whatever, buy Tesla. They got enough money to buy, or buy both. I mean, they've got enough money to do that. Anyway,
There was actually a news article about Tesla buying GM, which was of course totally incorrect.
Incorrect. Yeah.
Tesla is purchasing some of the old plants that GM no longer uses to manufacture their cars in.
Huey, how to print your Google Calendar?
Yeah, printing a Google Calendar is difficult. And
Yes.
this was an article on how to do it, how to track your events, and sometimes you want to have a hard copy. And this there's a lot of screenshots in the article that show you exactly how to do it.
Whenever I try to print a calendar,
You just locked up, Ron.
Yeah.
whenever I try to print a calendar, I get 120 pieces of paper. All right.
You skipped one for whatever reason. The picture didn't show up. I've been talking about Power Toys quite a bit on my Windows SIG show every month. It's on the second Sunday, which is this coming Sunday. And I talk about Power Toys, and I've demonstrated several of them. And now they have an updated version with some support and some updates to some of their programs.
Excellent. Now, this was an interesting article. Now, I read this and I wasn't going to publish it today. I thought, nah. But this is again by Bloomberg, and it says these home appliances are using power even when turned off. Now, when you read through this, I mean, you're going to say, "Oh, what the heck?" You've got all your smart devices, and of course they're going to use power. You're not going to turn those off. But the interesting thing is that many of us have devices plugged into our home. Let me give you an example. My entertainment room. We don't use it anymore, but I still had my DVD. Whoever watches DVD or VHS machine, I have them plugged in, and they're sitting there. They're on standby power, and all these devices that, like VHS, DVDs. Today we have a dehumidifier upstairs in our upstairs area, and we have one down here. I don't run them very often, but I always leave them plugged in, and there's a light on in them, and they are using power. So I guess one of the things that you need to think about as you're going through your house, if you're not using it, unplug it, because most of these devices, even though they're off, still use power. And that was the interesting part about this article. Do you guys have any comments on that?
Well,
Standby and unplugging are two different things. Standby means it's immediately available when
Right.
you want to reuse it. But you unplug it and you have to start from scratch.
But if you're not using,
If you don't intend to use it and it won't be used for a while, unplug it.
unplug it. Yeah.
Yeah, TV. have the remote, you press the on button, it comes right on. The reason why that
Right.
it's being powered, it's already you can see a little on mine, it's a blue light that shows that it's plugged in and so on. So
Right.
I have mine in a plug into a plug that's available from to run from my Miss A. And so sometimes if I need to reboot my TV, I just tell Miss A to shut off the power and it turns that switch off. In other words, it turns off the plug, not just the TV, and then turn it back on, and you can see it going through a boot up the same
Right.
as your computer does.
Right. But I
I
think
recycle my router modem that way because
Right.
it's on a
Yeah.
smart plug.
right. But I guess the point that out of this article I thought was important is as you walk through your house and you look at your different devices, if you're not using it, you might use it once every 3 years, unplug it because it still may be using power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use
Robin used to say our house looked like an airport runway with all the little lights on all the devices.
I'm one of the old-fashioned dads that still walks around the house turning off lights in rooms that nobody's in. I've been doing this for 50 years probably.
There you
But
go.
the point is, how much does it cost? If keeping it plugged in is costing me $1 a year, I don't care.
Okay. Now this is interesting. The FBI was not happy about this. Bob, any comments? Apple now says most iCloud data can be encrypted end to end. No one can see it.
It's a promise that Apple made some time ago,
Right.
and they're following through on it. Good for them.
Yeah. Now it's interesting because of course when we store stuff on Google Drive, we've talked about this before, is that Google does go through that information and they particularly look for certain types of information that may be detrimental, the child pornography. They look for stuff that could be bad, and that is bad, and they do review all the stuff on your drive, so they're not encrypted on Google Drive, right?
Oh, that's going to be end to end. So
Yeah.
once encrypted, unless you have the key.
So interesting. So I thought that was well done, Apple. Huey, Huey, is this? Let's see. I think that's
Yeah, that's the picture didn't show up for this one either, but
okay.
I thought Bob might shed a little light on this, but the CCleaner's new cleaning rules help optimize Windows 11. In this article explains some of the changes in the latest version of CCleaner.
Yeah, it's been updated to help with Windows 11 optimization.
Right. Okay. Huey, do we have any comments? Maybe we're getting close to top of the hour here. Have we got anything new here?
Yeah, there's a couple here.
Vale says, I have a 5G router, a hotspot as a backup to my cable provider. With T-Mobile, I average 150 to 200 download and 20 to 3 upload. Well, Vale, I was thinking about that when our internet went out completely for about 6 hours yesterday. Yeah, I was sort of sweating bullets on that, wondering if it had happened today, we couldn't have done the show. So backups are important, I guess, when you're thinking about internet. Mike Ungerman, many YouTube videos of Apple's plan for EVs. Oh, okay, good. I haven't really paid a lot of attention. I didn't think it was a serious thing, actually. I thought they had thought about it, but I was surprised when it looked as though they're definitely going that route, eh? Now, this is absolutely insane. Have you guys seen this? Why you should never choose a pay later at checkout. So I don't think we have this in Canada, but when you go to pay now electronically, have you seen this? There's a pay later option when you're using your different online payment services. And so if you go to pay for it and you can't pay, it automatically lets you pay later. And if you pay, and it says, do you want to pay in a month's time? No charge. And you say yes. And and you can buy it and you don't have to pay anything for it. But if you don't pay in that next month, you're going to get walloped with some really big interest charges. And there's the problem with this is there's no credit check. So people who have problems managing their finances, this is terrible. This is absolutely awful. And I was wondering, maybe if you're out listening in the audience, have you seen this? I've never seen it, but this apparently is very, very common. Have you seen this at all? And
Pay later has been around for quite some time,
Yeah.
especially if you're using PayPal. They've
really,
had that available for a long time. And it's like making a loan. The problem is, like you said, no credit checks. And come
yeah.
a month down the road, I don't have the money. Now what? Mhm.
Oh,
Well, not only a month down the road, they could be giving credit to somebody who's in bankruptcy.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Oh man, that did not look good. So that wasn't very, that's interesting. This is just an information article. I'm not going to talk about it, but if you want to browser slow, how to make Google Chrome fast again, I'll let you read that article.
It's a pretty good article.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. Yes,
yeah,
it is. And there's a simple way to make it faster.
now what was this about? Processor chipset. We'll pass that one. Oh yeah, Huey, did you see this article? Roku just gave users 13 free channels. Did you talk
Yeah,
about that?
I
last
saw,
night?
and the article does list the ones, and I did look at them, but quickly, but I don't recall what they were. But
Right.
it's, I think NHL was one of them. So
Oh,
if you're a
really?
hockey fan, you can watch some hockey on your Roku channel. Now, also, I mentioned this last night in my presentation, and the one that I did here on Tech for Senior. The Roku is not just the box. You can, if you've got a Fire TV, there's a Roku channel that you can use. So you don't have to have a Roku to install and run the Roku channel
So Huey,
or
on these
service.
channels, are they just going to appear, or are you going to have to actually put them on the Roku menu, or are they just automatically going to
No,
be there?
they will appear, but there may be an update to the software
Okay.
in the box. I don't know, but either way, it'll just appear.
So you can see them when you open up your Roku
Yeah,
menu.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Oh, this was really interesting. This was really interesting. As you know, I'm interested in watches, and I do a lot of work with ECGs on watches and cardiac stuff. And AliveCore was the original company that developed the technology to do ECG on watches, and they also make a little device that you can carry around and use as a portable device that isn't a watch. I've talked about that many times. Now, early on, when Apple first started their watch and put the ECG on the watch, about a year before, Apple, AliveCore went to Apple and said, "Hey, this is sort of cool technology. Do you think you could put it on watches?" And Apple said, "Well, let's have a look," right? And couple of years later, Apple came out with their first ECG on a watch. Well, AliveCore sort of scratched their head and said, "Just a minute, didn't we give them that technology a couple of years ago? They never sort of talked to us about it or paid us anything for it." And then history is made, right? Apple has, all the stuff we do now with ECGs, but that was originally pioneered by AliveCore. So AliveCore sued Apple, right? And they lost. So this was
Who
very
lost?
interesting. AliveCore lost. They didn't
Oh,
win.
okay.
Yeah, Apple was able to say, "Well, yeah, it was interesting stuff, but we developed our own and moved on." Yeah, right. So AliveCore showed them how to do it. It was an interesting article because I follow this very closely, and I thought it was. So if you're interested, you can watch that. Oh, do you guys see this? this is a very interesting. This was Chrome at shortcut search tabs, bookmarks, and history right from the address bar. I wasn't quite sure. I read this article. Did you guys read this article? I wasn't quite sure how this app thing works, but you can read the article and have a look. But you can just type this app into the search, and it will change your search results. Bob, did you see that article at all?
No, but I will be looking into it closer.
Yeah,
Now,
sorry.
Chrome also added something. I read some articles about it. They added where when you get to the bottom of a search page,
Right.
there's a set of numbers, and so you can go to the next page. Well, they're saying now the latest versions of the Chrome browser, or I'm sorry, not the whatever browser you're using. When you do the Google search, when you get to the bottom, it will then add the next page automatically. I haven't found that to work yet, and I just updated the Chrome browser this morning, and it's still not there. So I'm not sure.
I'm on the beta, and it's not in the beta yet. It's in right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like it when they come out with articles of what's coming, and then when it comes, they don't tell you that it's there.
Well, the other problem, Huey, is it doesn't often roll out. It rolls out first in the United States, and then as it goes around the world, it rolls out at different times in different countries. So you could be reading the article and it doesn't work in Canada, but it might work in you're right.
That's what. Look at your time.
Yes, I know. This is the final article. Bob, are you going to talk about this on Monday? SIM swapper sent to prison for two-factor authentication cryptocurrency heist. So we got one of the bad guys.
Yeah, you get one and you add 100 to the list who've gotten.
Yeah, so well, that's good. Hey, where did the time go? We got lots of more good articles. What the heck?
Yeah, and Bob's voice is not too bad today, so he can talk longer.
I guess that's the problem.
Wait, the next news roundup, we'll make it 15 minutes. No, not gonna happen.
Bob's back. Back.
The voice is getting better. Thank God.
There you go. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. We will see everybody for our Monday show. We look forward to that, or we'll see you back here next Thursday.
And don't forget the WinSig on Sunday.
Yes, and don't forget, in an hour's time, Chris and Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour will be having their they're doing a StreamYard
webinar.
Yeah, a webinar on StreamYard. So I think the details probably are on their webpage, but I'm going to attend that and see how they do, because it's going to be broadcast on StreamYard's new webinar service. So you might want to have a look at that and see, and that'll be about. Am I correct, Bob? It's in another hour.
Yes,
that's right. It'll be another hour. So wherever you are, it will be another hour. And so anyway, have a great day, have a great week, and we'll see everybody back, as I said, on Monday or next Thursday. Bye now.
Bye everybody.
Bye.